back, everyone, to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be discussing how to start a business in 2022. If you haven't already done so, make sure you click that like and subscribe button so that in the future, if you want to learn more about business and food trucks, you can check out all my videos. If you want to start a business in 2022, don't be scatterbrained like me and mess up in the beginning. Because what I started doing was I started going into things that I love doing and getting my hands and feet wet into everything. And then I became a jack of all trades, but an expert in none. So when you're focusing on something, focus on the one thing that you're good at and get really, really good at that, and then learn how you can generate revenue from there. When you start a business, generating revenue is of course the key. It's the goal of making money, but keep in mind that you won't always make a lot of money in the beginning because all we're doing is pouring into our business. So don't get discouraged if you don't make any money in the beginning because all you're gonna be considered is an investor. Once you've decided what you're good at and what you wanna do, figure out how much money is this actually gonna take for me to start this business. So for me, if I'm a service-based business, there's not really much that you need to focus on other than what supplies you need, if there's any software, subscriptions that you need, if you'll need employees. Most people don't hire employees right away, but just figuring out all the numbers to figure out how much you need to invest in so that little by little you can work up to that goal. Once you've invested into that business, figure out what your costs are gonna be for your services or your goods. So whatever that number is, grab your startup costs, grab the number of items or services or whatever you're offering, and then you can kind of figure out from there how soon you're gonna be able to hit your profit. One of the greatest tools that I invested in that I love so much is Quickbooks. Why? Because Quickbooks is literally like my online accountant. You can link your profile and connect your bank from there where they can see everything that you're earning, everything that you're spending, and then the cool thing about it is that it separates all your expenses. If there's any profit, it'll put it in its own category. There's so many tools that you can use on QuickBooks. You can even pay people on there and keep track of your taxes. So keep in mind that when you do have a business, you want to know how you're making this money and where all this money is going so that you're able to consider the profit margins. When I started my food truck business, I tried to figure out what my numbers were gonna look like in the future so that I could set myself up for a goal every single day. So for example, if I spent $2,000 in food and I know that food is gonna last me 2 weeks or a month, I would say, how many plates would I need to sell in a day in order to reach my goal so that I can exceed the expenses and make some form of profit? Now you also have to consider if you have any employees, if you're doing any payouts to anyone, any expenses aside from just the food in order to consider profit. But again, remember in the beginning, we don't always make a profit. So all of it's mainly gonna be on the investing side because all you're focusing on is keeping your business afloat. So now that we've discussed a couple of things already, let's talk about the legal side. Now, of course, I'm not an attorney, so I cannot give you any legal advice, but what I will say is that when I started my business, I had to make sure I verified everything with the state, the county, and the city because they require different licenses and there's different procedures as to what you need in order to start your business. So for example, when I started my food truck business, I had to make sure I had my food truck license. I had to make sure that I had my business license with the DMV and with the state, and I also had to make sure I had a sales tax certificate. So those are things that I needed for my food truck business. But again, there are different things that you need. So if it's not a food truck business, but it's any other business, you definitely want to make sure that you verify everything with the state, city, county. And I will always repeat that over and over again because it's important to have everything done the right way so that in the future, IRS or the attorneys or whoever doesn't go after you. Another thing you want to consider is that if you need any kind of insurance, whether it's business or auto, that you look into that. But a great way to learn more about the legality or the setup of a business is by speaking with a business attorney who specializes in this field. So anyone can have a business, but sustaining your business is what's gonna make your business successful. So besides all those things we talked about, you need to learn how to sustain a business. And there are so many spectrums that go into play when it comes to sustaining a business. It's not just about maintaining the business and keeping it afloat. It's also making sure you pay your taxes, renewing your licenses, staying on top of your employees, and always providing great customer service. Because let me tell you, nowadays, people are very quick to cancel you. So if you want to sustain your business and become successful in 2022, here are 3 top things that I'm gonna wrap up with this video so that you know what to do in the future. Number 1, identify your sellers. Number 2, make sure you tailor your products to your audience so that it's specified for them and they love what you have. And number 3, market your business. You can do marketing in all kinds of ways: website, branding, wrapping, phone numbers, Instagram, YouTube, what have you. Don't just keep it afloat, always monetize. Thank you everyone for watching my YouTube video. See you next time.